Hi guys, Jack Peach here from Dynastic Dating, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to master modern dating, lessons from a viral dating trend. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, if you're anything like I was when I was single, you will find modern dating confusing. Whether it's messaging a girl for days, sometimes weeks on end, only to ask her for a coffee and then for her to ghost you, or to go on a second date with a girl you really liked and it felt like it went really well, and then it disappointingly doesn't lead to a third and you're just not really sure why, what happened, what went wrong. Or it can feel like it's very difficult just to meet the right woman, the kind of woman that you actually want to settle down with and potentially spend your life with. All these are very, very modern challenges that have come out in the modern dating scene. And it's just not the same as it used to be 60 years ago. Dating isn't the same. We can't apply the same rules that we used to. And with these new challenges that people are facing, it's led to some, shall we say, funky solutions. And I want to share with you the lessons from one of these funky solutions of a viral dating trend that swept the nation recently. So what is this viral dating trend and how can we master modern dating using the lessons that we can learn from it? Well, the trend is called date stacking. Popularized on TikTok, as so many of these modern trends are, date stacking is the idea that we stack multiple dates into one day rather than spreading them over the course of a week or two. Now, the reason given for this is that we all live increasingly busy lives and dating is time consuming, emotionally draining, and there's no guarantee that a date will lead to a relationship. Now, there's a couple of flawed premises in there, but this has become increasingly popular. And if you're anything like me, you can probably see a few of the flaws within this strategy already. That said, there are some very valuable lessons we can learn from this about not just modern society, but also our own interactions with dating and how we can best optimize our own dating life. And that's what I want to share with you now. So let's jump into the lessons that we can learn from this viral dating trend. Now, the first lesson you can take from this viral dating trend is that it is possible to get multiple dates in a single day. Now, if you're anything like my clients when they come to me, that might seem like an insurmountable challenge. It's not unusual for my clients to have had one date in the past year. Sometimes, like one of my recent clients had 0 dates in 6 years. He's now in a relationship after going through the Dynastic Dating program. But it might seem like dating being time consuming is not the problem you're trying to fix for. But you've got to realize that this is possible. One of my recent clients, he actually went on a run of 3 weekends in a row where he got 2 dates every Saturday for those 3 weekends. And for him, this was great. For him, he was a busy guy. He was working 2 jobs at the time and Saturdays were his only free day. So of the leads he was getting, of the women he was talking to, it just made sense logistically for him to squeeze them in. So this is something that is easily possible with the right strategy. And it's all about meeting enough women and being able to connect with them, where the problem you're going to solve is, how do I find time to meet them? Now, if that's not the problem you're facing, the biggest lesson you can take is that it is possible for you to achieve. Now, the second lesson you can take from this viral dating trend of date stacking and use to help you master modern dating is to understand that getting multiple dates is going to be extremely valuable for you to find a relationship. Now, one of the reasons for this is because only about 5% of first dates lead to a relationship. And that means you need to go on 20 first dates with different women to find a relationship on average. Of course, sometimes it's going to be less, sometimes it'll be more. So for that reason, I recommend to my clients to get at least a minimum of 2 dates a month. That's because if you're getting 2 dates a month, you're getting 24 dates a year, which gives you a sort of 95% chance that within the year you will be in a relationship. Now, of course, whether that relationship lasts is another matter, but this is kind of the imperative for finding a relationship. Now, more than that, you also need to understand that date stacking, getting multiple dates, whether or not you date stack is actually irrelevant. I don't think it's really that important generally to stack them in one day. Logistically, it can make sense. But the most important thing to take from this is also that these dates, getting consistent dates, helps provide data points to find out bottlenecks and issues that are stopping you or preventing you from being able to find a relationship. If you're anything like my clients, often they don't know what the problem is. They don't know why they can't find a relationship, why their second date doesn't lead to a third. And it's only by having, a bit of expertise from me to help guide them and make them aware of that, but also only by getting dates can you even identify it. And identification, you can't fix what you can't identify. You can't solve what you're not aware of. So getting consistent dates is so important for being able to improve your dating skills. But there's more than this as well. If you're not getting consistent dates, women will be able to see that. You're going to put too much emphasis on that date. If you do get a date with a woman you like, you're going to be so desperate for it to work, she will sense that. And it counterintuitively makes it less likely that you'll get a second and third date as a result. This is one of the reasons I'll recommend my clients to go on multiple dates with people, whether or not they're really their type. Because if you're not getting consistent dates, you're not really in the position of having the luxury of having a type. Okay? Like if you're getting one date every 6 months, you can't be turning down opportunities with women because they're not your type. Because once you start getting consistent dates, you're actually going to be more confident with the women that you do see a future with. It's one of those counterintuitive ways. By saying yes to women who are not your type, you're more likely to actually meet your type in the long run and get into a relationship with her. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but it's also one of the reasons why I sometimes recommend my clients to lower their standards. Not because they want to have a relationship with this woman, and you don't want to lower your standards so low that you're dating an emotionally unstable or a toxic woman. Obviously, that's not what I'm talking about. But sometimes by lowering your standards, it gives you the skills and the confidence to meet the right one later. And that's a really important lesson you can take from this viral dating trend. Now, if you want to master modern dating, the third and final lesson I want to share from this viral dating trend is that it's not going to work for everyone. And that's okay. If you're an introverted guy or you're not, this super social butterfly, going on 3 dates in a day probably doesn't appeal to you and probably will never be something that you'll feel confident with. It also won't set you up for success because that you will find emotionally draining, more so than just having 3 days of 3 dates over the course of 10 days. And that's absolutely fine. You have to adapt an overarching dating strategy which is aligned with who you are, that makes you feel authentic in being yourself and true to the people you're dating. Any dating strategy that doesn't do that is not going to work in the long run because you're not going to feel comfortable with it. So women are going to intuit that you're going to subcommunicate that in various different ways. But also you're not going to align with the women that you actually want to spend your life with. This is why it's so important to get a tailored approach that is suitable for you. And it's also one of the reasons why the Dynastic Dating Program boasts such success. It's because of this. I help my clients develop their own authentic dating style. So if there's one, this might even be the most important lesson you take from this date stacking idea, is that it doesn't have to work for you. And what works for one person won't work for you. And that's fine. So let's recap. How can you master modern dating using the lessons from this viral dating trend? Well, number one, you need to cut through the false belief that it's impossible for you to get multiple dates with women in one day. It is possible with the right dating strategy. Number two, You need to be getting consistent dates as often as possible if you want a committed, loving relationship with a woman that will last. Dating and relationships are not separate. One leads to the other, and the better you are at dating, the more likely you are to have a good quality relationship. And lesson 3, date stacking won't work for everyone, and that's okay. Find yourself a strategy that is authentic and true to you, because that is what will work in the long run and help you deliver an aligned, loving relationship. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're wondering what can I do next, I recommend watching my video, Steal This 8-Step Strategy to Rebuild Your Confidence with Women, especially if you feel like getting multiple dates in one day is some insurmountable challenge. This will give you an exact 8-step strategy to get more confidence and to get the kind of relationship that you want in the future. Now, if you want to skip the learning curve, if you want to take away the guesswork, if you want to find a relationship as soon as possible without getting frustrated at dating apps and wondering what's going on in this modern dating world, you can also book a free strategy call with me, a 3 path to commitment strategy session, to help figure out whether it makes sense for you to join the Dynastic Dating Program and to be able to find yourself a loving, committed relationship as soon as possible. But until the next video, I want to say thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Jack out.